We're going to be on Reddit today. This subreddit is called Learn Spanish. There are 265,000 members, which is insane. 12 online, that's very few. If you don't know, I'm Spanish. I'm from Spain. I live in Spain and lived there my whole life. Spanish is my first language. So I'm going to be answering some of these questions. I think it's, what is the filter? It's the hottest right now. Any rule to remember fin de semana versus Día de la semana? Why is it de la semana for Día de la semana but de semana for fin de semana? Why one cases use article and one doesn't? I can never remember these details, so a rule or explanation will help. Honestly, there's no rule. It's just you always say Día de la semana when you say weekday, and you always say fin de semana when you say weekend. Like, there's no rule. It's just that always, unless you say something like this is the end of the week, which is like, are you in the Lord of the Rings or something? Like, you wouldn't say that. If you were to say that, it would be like fin de la semana, but you will mean that in a very literal way, like this is the end of the week, and it's like you wouldn't say that. So there's no rule. It's just you always say fin de semana or Día de la semana, like that's it. Okay, another with rules. Honestly, I think many people look for rules, which is something that when I used to study English in like classrooms and stuff, people would always ask is there a rule for this, and usually the answer is no, not really. And I think that's going to happen with a lot of this. So this person said, are there any good rules on when to use the suffix da mente and when to use mente? Desafortunadamente, tranquilamente. I know mente used in creating adverbs, but I don't understand the rule here. Why do I add da? In some cases, I first thought it's every time the verb ends in a, but that is obviously wrong. I'm reading the first comment and I don't know if I agree. So this person answered, mente is the only suffix here. The da is because of the word is built upon. Desafortunadamente, yeah, I guess. Desafortunado, the suffix is usually equivalent to li in English. Yeah, I don't think there's a rule. Like sometimes, like this person said, I actually kind of agree, because if you say desafortunado, that's unfortunate, you already have like desafortunada, so you just add mentes to say unfortunately. Fun fact, because many people say this wrong, and many people, I mean in Spain, people that speak Spanish say this wrong. Malamente is wrong. And there's a song by Rosalía, you probably know it. That's incorrect. Like, you don't say malamente, you say mal. And many people say malamente, which is like, it doesn't sound that weird to us because many people say it kind of as a joke. Not as a joke, but some people just say it like that and it's kind of funny how it sounds. But like, that's completely wrong, so don't say it. Just so you know, because you probably hear people say malamente, that's completely wrong.
Malamente no lo he hecho,
Okay, different between these ways. Oh wow, this person wrote an essay. Difference between these ways of saying to forget in Spain. Oh, Spain. Oh, I was going to say at the beginning, I forgot. This is Spanish from Spain, so there are some things that might be different. So far, these are all like grammatically and things like that. So I don't think there's going to be that many differences, but just so you know, some of the words in Spain and other Hispanic countries are very, very different. I've come across 3 different ways to say that you've forgotten something, like your keys, forgetting about something, like a birthday, or forgot to do something. Forgetting something, he olvidado mis llaves, me he olvidado mis llaves, se me han olvidado mis llaves. Forgetting about something, he olvidado su cumpleaños, me he olvidado su cumpleaños. But this is the same. Oh, okay. I thought he meant like, or they meant, I don't know who it is. I thought they meant like the different, like 3 difference, as in about something, to do something, that's a different. I've read a lot of explanation, but they often contradict each other or focus on Latin American usage. I'm specifically interested in how these are used and understood in Spain. How do they differ in meaning, nuance, or tone? Oh, this is so suiting for me. Like, I'm literally being like, okay, I'm from Spain. You can say all of these. Me he olvidado llamarlo, me he olvidado... Oh, this is wrong. Me he olvidado llamarlo is wrong. You will say me he olvidado de llamarlo, which is kind of weird. Like, I wouldn't say that. It's not incorrect per se, but it's not like the best way to say that. He olvidado mis llaves. It sounds a bit formal, but like you could say it. Me he olvidado mis llaves. I would say se me han olvidado mis llaves, because that se is like referring to the keys themselves, and that me, it means me. So it's like, not that it means me, but like it refers to me. So it's like se me han olvidado mis llaves is like the keys and me, and I forgot them. I would say se me ha olvidado su cumpleaños, which is like highlighting the fact that it's their birthday, whoever it is. Like you can tell if it's a he or a she in this sentence. In Spanish, you're going to find that a lot. You're not going to know who you're talking about, if it's a her or his or them, whatever. I would say se me ha olvidado su cumpleaños. See, se is like their birthday, me, I've forgotten their birthday, which sounds like very repetitive, but like it's what I will say. I will say in all of these I will use the third one, but all of them are correct. Grow up with, in English it's very common to say you grew up with something, and I'm not talking about literal sense like I grew up with my sister, but a sense of having become accustomed to something by virtue of being raised with it. For example, a sense of food or a TV show, I grew up with that. It conveys a sense of nostalgia or cultural experience. Why are they explaining all of this about nativity? I know you can say criarse con in español, but can it convey the same meaning? Okay, this person said yes, it does. You can even say crecí con, which is the literal translation of I grew up with. Yes, I don't know if I will say crecí con. Like if I say I grew up with Hannah Montana, for instance, crecí con Hannah Montana, that's how I would say. By the way, in Spanish I would say Hannah Montana. I know that sounds cringy to some of you, but like that's how we would say it. I will say, I don't know, wait, crecí con Hannah Montana. I would say me crió, Hannah Montana me crió, like I was raised by Hannah Montana, but like you could say crecí. It's just that crecí con mi hermana, like they say I grew up with my sister. Crecí con mi hermana. It's just something that we don't say it, and that's it. Like it's not wrong. It's just something that it sounds kind of weird, because I think we just wouldn't say it. Like I just say, oh, this was my childhood. Yeah, in Spanish. I'm trying this question en Spanish. Pruebo esta pregunta en español. Lo siento por unos errores. Los errores, I guess. Me creo. This person doesn't really speak Spanish. Me creo, hay dos palabras. Okay, they wanted to say creo or yo creo. Yo creo que, like I think that, yo creo que o creo que. Hay dos palabras por para. Ears en español, oído y oreja. Es verdad, si es correcto, porque inside is the oído, is like the sense itself, like the organ, like this person said. En oreja is just this. All of this. Like if you say eyes and sight, that's the difference. Nosotros les mandamos dinero a nuestros hijos. Or is there a less if I'm specifying who will receive the money? I'm confused why less is needed, and if simply saying nosotros mandamos dinero a nuestros hijos will be also correct. Thanks. This is what I was saying before. It's called the redundant indirect object. Oh wow. In Spanish we include the indirect object pronoun even if we specify the indirect object explicitly. Then yeah, we just say that. I didn't realize how redundant we are. If you say nosotros mandamos dinero a nuestros hijos, it means we send money to our children. If you say like this other this second part, like nosotros mandamos dinero a nuestros hijos, it's like you usually do that. We send money to our children, like to our kids. Like we usually do that in our every month we send money to our children. If you say nosotros les mandamos dinero, it would mean like in the past, like at the one point we did it. And you could say it like nosotros les mandamos dinero a nuestros hijos every month. It's a bit more correct. Like both of them are correct. Both of them could mean just at one point you did that, or you do that every once in a while. Both are used for both things. If I wanted to say every month without saying like we usually do that, I would say like the second part without the less. And if I wanted to say we did that once, I would say the less. But again, like you can use both for both. Difference between porque and pues in Spain. Both words mean because, and I'm also aware that pues is mostly used to mean well in conversation, but do native speakers perceive them the same way? I've heard that pues literary. Jesus. Though that was just one person's opinion, focusing on peninsular Spanish, so I'd like to know how Spaniards see it. Pues is very common in Spain, meaning well or so then. Pues ni idea, well no idea, pues no lo hagas tío, so then don't do it man. Lo hizo pues se lo pedí. She did it for it. Lo hizo porque se lo pedí. I think I don't usually say pues. Maybe like this person said like to say well, like pues this and that, but like it's not something that I use that much, or I don't think so. If you want to say because, just say porque, because pues it just sounds weird because lo hizo pues se lo pedí. It sounds like Shakespeare. It doesn't even sound like a book, a regular book. It sounds like you're old, like you're from the 19th centuries or something. It just sounds bizarre, which is not wrong. Again, like many of the things are like they're not wrong, they're just bizarre. Like no one would say that. I'm just trying to think of a situation where I would say pues. For instance, if someone told me what happened and I say pues que esto y lo otro, like this happened. If I want to say oh I was robbed, pues que vino fulanito no sé qué, this person came, like there's no really a translation in English. Like you wouldn't translate the word pues in that sentence. You just say oh this guy came and did this and that, and I would say pues que this and that. Like you just introduce the sentence like that. I mean you could say well in the sentence, what happened, well this guy came and this and that, but I think in English it sounds a bit more weird. This made me think because some of these are like I don't know what I would say. Actually this is kind of bizarre. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of videos, if you have like another subreddit thing that I can react to, like I can answer some of the questions. If you have Spanish questions or questions about Spain, just leave them down below, and please do subscribe because it's free and you can change your mind anytime. Have a nice week.